Have you seen anything like Caitlin Clark? I mean, we watch a lot of basketball. We dissect it all the time. I mean, what she's done in the last 2 games, it's almost bizarre. I don't even know what to say anymore. And I mean, today it's a different story, but have you seen anything like it?
Caitlin Clark's decision to return for another season in the NCAA electrified the basketball world, leaving fans buzzing and one of the game's most legendary coaches, Geno Auriemma, visibly stunned. The moment unfolded in a way no one could have scripted, live on television, with the veteran coach trying, and hilariously failing, to mask his disbelief. Clark's announcement was a bold statement, underscoring her commitment to college basketball and setting the stage for what promises to be one of the most riveting seasons in recent memory. But before we proceed further, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. The stage was already charged with anticipation before Clark took the microphone. She had built a reputation as a player who could dominate games, break records, and ignite crowds with the flick of her wrist. Her court vision, pinpoint accuracy, and fearless style of play turned her into a must-watch phenom. Her highlight reels weren't just basketball clips. They were works of art. Fans saw her as not just a star, but the beating heart of her team, Maua. And in the process, she had become a symbol of inspiration, her name synonymous with excellence. But her return wasn't merely about basketball. It was about rewriting the script of collegiate sports. In an age when top athletes often leave college early to pursue professional careers, Clark's decision stood as a beacon of loyalty and unfinished business. Her choice to stay another season sent ripples through the sport. Clark revealed her decision on a primetime broadcast. Auriemma's face told a story that words couldn't quite capture. Sitting in a studio full of seasoned analysts, he leaned back in his chair, mouth slightly agape, as though someone had just told him gravity was optional. For a man who had seen just about everything in basketball, this moment hit differently, and while he tried to recover quickly, throwing out a mix of professional praise and half-joking resignation, his reaction became an instant meme. Social media lit up with clips of the moment, with captions like, "Geno just saw a ghost," and "Caitlin Clark, leaving legends speechless since 2023. Clark's decision also shined a light on her competitive fire. Her career thus far had been defined by a refusal to settle. From her early days on the court, she was the kind of player who hated to lose more than she loved to win. Her return wasn't about padding stats or chasing personal glory. It was about winning a championship. The message was clear. She believed Iowa could do it, and she was willing to put everything on the line to make it happen. Auriemma, of course, understood exactly what this meant for the sport. A coach with 11 NCAA titles to his name doesn't get blindsided easily, but Clark had managed to do just that. His presence meant sold-out arenas, skyrocketing TV ratings, and a growing legion of fans who couldn't get enough. The implications of Clark's decision were monumental. For Iowa, it was like winning the lottery twice. The Hawkeyes had become synonymous with Clark's name, and her staying meant another year of packed stands, national attention, and a legitimate shot at glory. For opposing teams, it was both a challenge and a headache. Preparing for Clark meant sleepless nights and defensive schemes that often proved futile. Her range extended to the parking lot, her court awareness was next level, and her confidence was unshakable. Coaches didn't just plan for her, they obsessed over her. For the NCAA, it was another boost to a sport already riding a wave of momentum. The women's game had been gaining traction, with players like Clark leading the charge. Her return ensured another year of marquee matchups and moments that would captivate audiences far beyond the traditional fan base. College basketball thrives on storylines, and Clark's decision added a new chapter to one of its most compelling narratives. But beyond the tactical and commercial implications, there was something deeply human about Clark's choice. It reflected a love for the game that went beyond contracts and endorsements. She could have left for the WNBA, where she'd undoubtedly be a star, but she chose to stay. For Clark, the college experience wasn't a stepping stone. It was a destination worth savoring. And for fans, that meant another season of jaw-dropping plays, buzzer beaters, and moments that defied description. Auriemma's reaction, though humorous, also carried an undertone of admiration. As a coach who had built his career on fostering greatness, he recognized the magnitude of what Clark was doing. It wasn't just about her talent, it was about her impact. Players like Clark didn't come around often, and when they did, they left an indelible mark. Auriemma knew he'd be game planning for her yet again, and while the competitor in him might have groaned, the basketball lover in him couldn't help but smile. Clark's return also sparked renewed conversations about the dynamics of college athletics. The NIL era had changed the landscape. allowing athletes to profit from their name and likeness. For someone like Clark, this meant she could stay in college without sacrificing financial opportunities. It was a win-win, and her decision highlighted how the new rules were reshaping the sport. Critics and supporters alike couldn't ignore the significance of her choice, which felt like a watershed moment for the NCAA. As the news sank in, fans and analysts began speculating about what the upcoming season might hold. Would Clark take her game to an even higher level? Could Iowa go all the way? And how would opposing teams adapt? The questions were endless, and the excitement palpable. Auriemma, no doubt, was already plotting his next move. For all his shock, he wasn't the type to back down from a challenge. Clark's presence only made the stakes higher, and for a competitor like Auriemma, that was part of the fun. Clark, meanwhile, seemed unfazed by the hoopla. In her usual understated way, she expressed excitement for the season ahead, deflecting attention from herself and focusing on the team. It was classic Clark, driven, humble, and laser-focused. She didn't play for the accolades or the headlines. She played because she loved the game. And that passion resonated with fans, who saw in her a reflection of their own love for basketball. As the broadcast wrapped up, the commentators couldn't resist one last jab at Auriemma. Caitlin Clark had shaken up the basketball world once again, and the ripples would be felt for a long time to come. With her return, Clark had turned the upcoming season into a spectacle. The storylines were endless, the anticipation sky-high. And while her decision left a trail of reactions, some amused, some awed, some outright panicked, one thing was certain: Caitlin Clark wasn't done making history, and neither was the game she loved. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more engaging content. We thrive on your feedback, so be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Until next time, keep discovering and stay tuned.